Hey everybody, Aaron Blaise here. It is Tuesday, May 12th, 9 a.m. Bright and early, and we are going to draw today. We got something new that we're going to do today, and we'll do it semi-regular. It's going to be fun. We're going to do Animal Mashup Day.
That's going to be fun.
I want you guys to give me 3 animals, insects included. That includes insects if you want to do that. But you got to give me 3 animals that I've got to mix together and make a new animal out of.
That's going to be a bit of a challenge.
I know. It'll be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. We used to do it in college and had a good time doing that.
I didn't know you guys did that back then.
Yeah. I don't know when, but we did. Yeah. I hope all of you guys are staying safe during this quarantine time, and I know restrictions are starting to get lifted here and there, but be careful. Don't be an idiot, and stay healthy. I'm actually just getting over a little flu myself. Yeah. So we've had a great week. We're still working away on our new course coming up. Dustin and I on my course on how to draw birds of prey. If you want to go to my desktop real quick, Dustin, we can show them. This is one we did yesterday on how to draw peregrine falcon heads. And so, like I usually do, we get the bones and the skulls and the whatnots, and we show you how to build from the inside out. And so that's what we did with the peregrine falcon yesterday. Shot 3 different videos. It was a lot of fun. So watch out for that over the next few weeks, because it's going to be coming out. And also, we have been talking with Wacom, and we're going to be doing a few Wacom sponsored live streams coming up, and we would like to be giving away we're going to be giving away some Wacom ones. On each of our platforms, we're going to give away 1 Wacom one. So there's 5 different platforms. There's 5 different Wacoms that we're going to be giving away. That's going to be coming up in the next few weeks. But I wanted to let you guys know so that you could tell your friends and build up that audience a little bit. Maybe we get a few more people out there to watch. I want to thank Wacom really a lot for kind of stepping up and providing the Wacom ones for this, because it's pretty cool. And so we'll be doing that in the next few weeks. The other thing I want to mention is that we still have our big sale going on. We know a lot of you guys are still out of work, and we want to make sure that you guys can afford to get new courses and educate yourself and all kinds of stuff. So if you're going over to creatureartteacher.com, we've still got our animation course for free. We've got a lot of Photoshop brush packs and other courses, for that matter, for $1. A lot of other courses are just slashed in half. So there's a lot of affordable stuff over there. If you just go over to creatureartteacher.com, and you'll find all kinds of stuff over there. We've had a huge amount of traffic, and that makes us very happy. And I hope you guys can get something out of it as well. So just go and check it out. It's not just me that's over there. We've got Ronnie Williford, we've got Lyndon Ruddy, Chuck Williams, Tim Hodge, some great artists over there that are teaching what they know, and it's invaluable. So it's like 100 years worth of knowledge all combined.
Nice.
Yeah.
But real quick, somebody's asking the giveaway, is that going to be worldwide?
That is going to be worldwide, as far as I know.
So,
yes. Not just in the United States. It's going to be worldwide. We don't want to exclude our big customer base. Our customer base goes global. So we're going to make sure that this is a global giveaway. So yes, we want to make sure it's going to do that. But let's go ahead. I've got Dustin here, as usual. Dustin Blaise, my son. And we've got Nick Birch in Sarasota, Florida. And he's going to be answering questions on some of the other platforms and providing links and all kinds of good stuff. I've got my lemonade and soda water.
Nice. I already got a couple of requests here.
Well, let me go ahead and open up a new document. What do you got?
Got a cheetah, giraffe, bear combo.
Cheetah, giraffe, bear. Okay.
Also got a cheetah, hawk, Komodo dragon.
Ooh, that one takes the new lead. Those are diverse. I want to be challenged, people. Challenge me.
A luna moth, a pheasant, and snow leopard.
Okay, hold on. Cheetah.
I'll let you get a pen and paper.
Yeah. They're all brush pens. What the heck, man?
Hey, Caroline.
Caroline! Okay, so what was the other one that I liked? Cheetah.
Yeah, cheetah, hawk, and Komodo dragon. That was Erica that recommended that one.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. Matt Yoakum suggests ostrich, lizard, bee.
Ostrich, lizard. You got to give me a specific lizard. What else we got? Oh, what do we have up here? Parrot and elephant. No, we need 3 fish, people. I mean 3 fish. We need 3 animals. It's 3 animals. Give me 3.
Ludamoth, pheasant, and snow leopard.
Okay. I want something. Remember, you can include insects too, which like you did with the Ludamoth. So, a sloth cobra elephant.
A ladybug mixed with a porcupine and platypus.
A ladybug. Porcupine.
A cheetah cub, ferret, falcon.
Platypus. Wow. Ladybug, porcupine. That's really diverse there. See, that's a good challenge.
Yeah. Yeah, so cheetah cub, ferret, falcon.
Cheetah, cub, ferret, falcon.
Fox, snake, porcupine.
Sloth, cobra, elephant, peacock, walrus, honeybee. Now there's a big one.
There it is. Possum, moose, and bald eagle.
Peacock. Walrus and honeybee. Wow, that's a cool one.
A scorpion, monkey, frog. There's also cheetah, giraffe, eagle, owl. Or your own rendition of the man bear pig.
Man, bear, pig.
Horse, falcon, mantis.
Orca, snake, eagle. Orca, snake, eagle.
There's being specific. A falcon head with a wolf body with a snake attached as the tail. That's a griffin.
You can't tell me how to combine them. I'm going to combine them.
That sounds like a griffin, though, too.
So the leaders in my mind are the cheetah, hawk, Komodo dragon, peacock, walrus, honeybee, orca, snake, eagle. That one's kind of cool because they're very specific colorations. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's also bear, alligator, hornet.
A bear, alligator, hornet. Jeez. Panther, beluga whale, sea otter. Panda, scorpion, and human. I don't want to do any humans.
A cicada, scorpion, bear.
Cicada, scorpion, bear. Wow. Wow, these are challenging, man. These are going to be challenging.
Gorilla, bat, rhino.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Gorilla, bat, rhino.
A gorilla bat rhino. I want to do them kind of cartoony, too.
Cartoony.
A gorilla bat rhino.
Like I can picture.
I like the gorilla bat rhino.
I'm kind of picturing like gorilla body with like bat wings for arms, with the head of a rhino.
Yeah.
Something like that. Gorilla, bat, rhino.
Gorilla bat rhino. That one. All of a sudden, I got a picture in my head.
So we're talking about someone mentioned lions and tigers and bear. Oh my!
Well, you want to do Gorilla Bat Rhino? What do you think?
I'm down for that.
You like that one? I like Gorilla Bat Rhino. Gorilla Bat Rhino. I can see that. It rolls off the tongue. Gorilla Bat Rhino.
Somebody also recommended Sasquatch plus Bear plus Dustin.
No, I like Gorilla Bat Rhino just because I like to say it. Gorilla Bat Rhino. What is that? It's a Gorilla Bat Rhino. What are you drawing? A
Gorilla Bat Rhino.
It's a Gorilla Bat Rhino. Gorilla Bat Rhino. You just keep saying it. Gorilla Bat Rhino. What is that? It's a Gorilla Bat Rhino.
Just kind of rolls.
Yeah.
Gorilla Bat Rhino.
Megalodon, Megalodon, Megalodon.
It's a Megalodon!
Alright, well, how about if I change color?
Alright. It is question time. If anybody has any questions, bring them up. Nice voices, continue singing. It's a little early for that. Here, when it's all done, I'll sing it again. Hey, Aaron.
Hi, how you doing?
I'd appreciate your opinion. I'm in the market for a new Cintiq. Which would you recommend? Either the 22 or the 24-inch Pro?
I'm sorry, I was reading. Say that one more time.
Would you either recommend the 22-inch new one or the 24-inch Pro?
I like big. So,
You say go for the 24 then?
I like, yeah. I mean, I've always, every Cintiq I've ever gotten, I've gone bigger and bigger, and I've always loved it. So, there's a YouTube comment. He says, "I now have over 100 hours of precious art education for less than $20. Thanks for this sale. It's crazy. You're welcome. Take it from him or this person. I don't know if it's a he or she, folks, but they got 100 hours."
All right, Aaron, can I record this? We actually post the live streams on YouTube after each live stream. So if you want to watch the anything that you might have missed, you just go over to YouTube.
Or the other platforms, because it's on Twitter and Twitter.
Do we save them on those sites too?
Yep.
Oh. Well, never mind then. Go everywhere. Do you ever get art burnout? And what do you do to stay motivated and creative?
I ask people to tell me to give me 3 animals to mix together to try to come up with an idea. Go big or go home. Or wait, you're home. Instagram question. How do you recommend balancing cartoon and realistic styles? You know that there's a whole mountain of degrees that you can go in as far as how real and how cartoony something is, and so it's really a matter of taste.
How do you go by observing and simplifying an animal's anatomy, one that you've never drawn or seen before?
Well, if you've never drawn or seen it before, you don't know the anatomy, so you have to study the anatomy. That's really the biggest thing you can do. Like right now, I'm struggling with finding this guy, but I've got an idea. I just have to find it.
I love the poster behind Aaron. Brother Bear was an inspiration for my dog's name, Kenai.
Oh, cool.
Your posting about the philosophy of putting back the shopping cart was funny and awesome. How long would you recommend a beginner? How long would you recommend a beginner to learn fundamentals on his own for? Like, if I can go for art classes, would you strongly encourage it, or perhaps recommend that I try to self-learn?
Oh, anytime you can find classes, I think that's great, and self-learning is fine too. It's really what you're most comfortable with. Let's do one horn because I think it's getting too
Too busy.
What advice would you give to someone struggling with animal anatomy that can't afford classes? Well, you can draw your dog. You can go pull stuff up online and see what you can find there. I know my classes are really cheap right now. I don't know what you can or can't afford, but we've got some really cheap ones right now.
What brush set do you recommend for a beginner?
For Photoshop, I'm assuming you're talking about.
Most likely.
My original custom brush set. Oh, I want to get a nice simple. I want this to go nice and simple here.
Do you need to draw on pen and paper before moving to digital?
No, I think it helps, but you don't need to.
How long have you been drawing?
I've been drawing for about 50 years.
For animation, what university do you recommend?
I don't recommend any, because they're all good in their own way, and I know there's a lot of great instructors in all of them. I think they're all overpriced. I think there's alternatives, but I think there's also great advantages to going to a university as well. So it's hard to say.
Kind of a toughie.
Yeah, that is a toughie because I don't like to promote them because I just think the way they overprice themselves for young people is crazy. I might give him little bats for wings off of his back instead of off of his arms. Although that would be anatomically incorrect.
Would you do a portrait in the next stream?
Oh, maybe I should have him flying. I should have him flying, shouldn't I?
Yeah. Now, are you going to have the gorilla have the wings for arms, or are you going to have the wings on his back?
No, wings for arms.
Wings for arms.
So I got to figure this out.
Would you do a portrait in the next stream?
Oh, that's not a bad idea. Sit and draw you.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
It would be fun.
But then who's going to look at the questions?
Well, you're gonna have to do both.
Oh boy.
You're gonna have to pose.
Pose like I'm in Vogue.
There we go. Now I think we got something that's kind of coming. Yeah, draw them with the wings out.
Is it necessary to get a degree of for art in the United States for if you want to get into the industry?
You don't need a degree to get into the industry. That's a big myth. So don't get a degree just to get into the industry. You don't need that. Now, if you want to get a degree to learn the education, then that's fine. Yeah. YouTube comment. Following your lessons, I've just started animating in 2D for the first time. It's so easy and yet so darn difficult. I love it. Thank you for this. Instagram question. Have you watched the documentary Waking Sleeping Beauty? It was interesting to see the changes made at Disney during the 80s. What's your opinion on the animations that Disney is producing now? I love what Disney's producing now. I think, and yes, I did. I have seen it. I was there during much of that era, and so, and I like what they're doing now. I think it's a new era, obviously, and sorry, I'm trying to draw this guy and hold on one second. Just trying to
do your thing.
It's your thing.
Do what you want to do.
Want to get this guy just right. Nice. I want to get him somewhat cartoony though too.
You make him super cartoony.
I'm not going to do
Bugs Bunny
I won't go
cartoony.
super cartoony, but don't like that eye. No, I don't. Big trapezius muscles. That's what, right up into the top of their head. Gorillas have these big trapezius muscles.
Are you ready for questions?
Just a second. There we go. Okay, there's our gorilla. I just got to get that face. Just let me get this face real quick.
That face. That pretty, pretty face.
Kind of a scribble. Go really big with it. Put that ear way up. His brow up. So I want to get more negative space right there between the head and the brow and the horn.
How many movies have you animated?
I have worked on, I think, 8 movies, 7 movies. There we go.
And people that are new here, the our next live stream will be on Friday at noon. Or no, not noon. What am I saying? 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock, yeah.
Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. Tuesdays are we stream every week on Tuesday and Friday. Tuesdays are 9 a.m. and Fridays are 1 p.m.
There. So what I'm trying to do is just kind of change up proportions a little bit.
When drawing from real life, what do you observe first, since the model or animal is mostly moving a lot?
I look at the gesture. What's the gesture? What's the pose that I'm trying to get? And I lay it in very quickly. And then once the gesture is in, then I can start laying in the anatomy. But I want to know that, usually I try to know that anatomy before going out.
How do you blend skin and fur, like some parts where the skin is being shown?
It's that's a very specific question. There we go. We shrink them up a little bit. It's whatever the texture dictates, I guess. It's I don't know how to answer that other than that. There. See, I want to be true to a bat, which is the parts that radiate out on a bat are its fingers.
Do you have any advice for figure drawing? Should you learn figure drawing before diving into anatomy?
You're learning both at the same time. Figure drawing is anatomy. You can't draw the figure without drawing the anatomy. So it's all part of the same thing.
What do
gorilla bat rhino? Gorilla bat rhino. Sorry.
Gorilla bat rhino. Which animation company? Which do animation companies look at more? Your schooling or your portfolio?
Your portfolio, always. They don't care if you went to school. Animation companies do not care if you went to school. All they care about is if you can draw, or produce the work that you're working on. The schools will probably tell you otherwise, but it's not true. I never once, when I was part of the review board, wanted to know where a person went to school. I wanted to know if they could do the work.
How do you think it would turn out if I used oil paintings on watercolor paper?
If you seal the paper with gesso, it'll work fine. People do that all the time, actually. You just have to seal it with gesso. If you don't seal it, it'll turn into a mess.
Gesso, what is it? What is that?
A gesso, acrylic gesso. It's what you put down on canvas or on paper or on wood before you start to paint on it with oils.
Do you have any advice for basic anatomy?
Basic anatomy.
Yes. Any advice on that?
Yeah, you got to do your study. I'm not sure what you mean by advice on basic anatomy. Anatomy is anatomy. So, I've got a course on basic anatomy, and I think it's pretty cheap right now. But it's. You got to understand, as far as basic anatomy goes, it's really understanding proportions and muscle groups and that sort of thing. Hey Aaron, do you have any tips on how to indicate iridescence in feathers on birds like roosters and ravens? Yeah, you really you have to really observe what's going on there, and it's a matter of putting the right colors together in a very pure form, a lot of times against blacks and grays and things like that. It's really, you have to observe it. And that's really the best thing I can tell you. YouTube question. Hi, I'm looking for anatomy of a wood mouse. I just bought the book of Terrell Whitlatch. What a great book. Unfortunately, there is no mouse in there. Where can I get the anatomy of that wood mouse? I would Google search mouse anatomy, and it would be pretty close to a wood mouse. Mouse skeleton, mouse anatomy.
Do you have any extra education besides your art?
No, I mean other than I've always learned.
Where can I find traditional animators to work with?
There's quite a few traditional animators. What do you mean by to work with? I'm not sure I know what you mean there.
Like maybe to
There's a lot in
Yeah.
Los Angeles. Ken Duncan Studios is traditional and CG. Uh, uh, we've got um, Cartoon Saloon, which is in Ireland, is traditional. We've got a lot of great and CG. They've got a lot of great stuff there. It's hard to find strictly traditional studios anymore. There's our little gorilla. What do we say? Rhino gorilla bat. Gorilla bat rhino.
Gorilla Bat Rhino.
Yeah, gorilla bat rhino.
Gorilla Bat
I don't like the silhouette
Rhino.
on this one.
That's interesting. He still has gorilla arms, but with
With bat
Bat.
fingers. So I'm gonna keep that one in mind. I like it. I like it. Okay.
I would really like to see Disney make 2D movies again. Do you think that's possible, or do you think they moved their production to 3D for good?
They've moved their production to 3D for good.
Uh, Hi, Aaron.
Hey, how's it going, eh?
Can we get the storyboarding course at a bit of a lesser price? Love from India.
Nope. We'll work on it. Right now, we've got a lot of prices that are dropped right now. No, but we'll definitely get them dropped down more.
Of all the movies that you were part of, what was your favorite to work on?
Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, and Brother Bear.
What program do you use to make an animated movie?
I use TV Paint for my animation now. I love TV Paint.
If
See,
you're
here's
talk-
the simple shapes I was looking for right here. Just like that. That's what I needed to do, is get those wings up in the air.
What would you say is your favorite animated film? Just in general, not one you
Bambi.
Bambi?
Yeah.
I'd say mine's Klaus.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
Out of everything that you've seen as a kid growing up?
From growing up,
Yeah, it's your favorite. What's your favorite animated movie? That's what they asked.
recently I fell in love with Klaus, but I would say either Lion King or Brother Bear.
Oh, you didn't have to say that.
I really do like Brother Bear. If any of you out there have not seen that yet, go see it. I think it should be on Disney Plus. Can you show us some of your portfolio?
No, I don't have my portfolio. I'm 50 years old. I haven't had a portfolio out in a long time.
What's your favorite genre of music?
I like all kinds of music. I love blues and straight up rock, singer songwriter, electronic, like easy listening, chill kind of stuff. I want to get this head right. It's bugging me. Got to get it up here in the back. I like the wings up like that, though. It's a lot more fun, don't you think?
Yeah.
It's a better pose.
What's the difference between a hippo and a zippo? One is quite heavy and the other's a little lighter.
That's a pretty good dad joke. I like it.
Do you use any kind of screen protector from your Cintiq? I was wondering if they can scratch up a lot from regular use.
No, they don't scratch up. No, I don't use a screen protector. Let's do this. I'm gonna, because I like. There, that's better. A little big lower jaw.
What's your opinion on artists who draw rounds and squares for arms and legs as primaries before laying down the curves of the muscle on the arms?
If it works for you, then go for it. I don't challenge anybody on the way they do stuff if it comes out good.
It says you don't seem to go through that stage and go directly to sketching the form. Is drawing boxes and circles a good practice for the long run?
Yeah, if it helps. Yeah, if it helps, then definitely do it. Now I gotta play with proportion a little bit.
I watched Frank and Ollie for like the 5th time the other day. Did you ever get to meet with them before they passed away?
Yes, I did. They were great guys. Awesome guys. Go. Nick says, yes, I did, Nick. YouTube question. Have you considered having an FAQ set up somewhere from someone who has watched many of your streams and listened to the same ones being asked over and over again? Yeah, it's hard to do an FAQ. We do have an FAQ on our website, and I agree with you 100%. It's just hard to do an FAQ for for us on the live stream.
Can you tell us a bit about Brother Bear and Phil Collins? Did you work together, and did he inspire you with his music?
Yes, we did work together, and yes, he inspired me. We had a great relationship. We worked together for 4 years, and he worked in Geneva in Switzerland, where his home studio is, and we had our studio in Florida, and he was very collaborative, and we had some great times together. It was a big dream of mine too, because I mean, I grew up I graduated from high school in 1986. Through the 80s, Phil was huge, and my prom song when I was in high school was "One More Night" by Phil Collins. So to have him, to work with him, was really quite an honor. And Tina Turner as well. Tina Turner was I'm a big fan of as well. So being able to do that, to work with these people as part of my job, was really a great benefit. And I really, really loved it.
When will you finish Snow Bear?
Soon. I don't know. It's
Soon.
I just don't know. Every time we get on it, we get pulled off onto something else because we're trying to get content done for the website. So it's just one of those things that it's going to take time.
Like the moment you get started, and now for something completely different.
Yeah. But Nick and I are going to focus on it pretty heavily in the next month or two.
And the Cintiq you're currently using is a 32-inch, correct?
32 Pro. Yeah.
They're showing on the set cam here. That is the 32. It is a monster.
There we go. I like that pose better. What do you think?
Yeah. Has that cartoony kind of vibe to it. And you built that Cintiq stand yourself.
Yes.
How long did it take you to build that?
The Cintiq stand?
Yeah, the stand.
About an hour and a half. Yeah, it was I just drew it up really quick, the design that we wanted to do, and then went ahead and built it. I build a lot of stuff. I like to build.
In the future, can you show us one of your portfolios someday?
I've got probably some old college stuff somewhere. I'll have to pull it out, but yeah, we can do that. I'll tie some of these down a little bit better.
How do you learn posing in 3D when someone has hand shaking and can't do drawings from life?
What? Say that again?
How do you learn posing in 3D when someone has hands shaking and can't do drawings from life?
Well, just because you have hand shaking doesn't mean you can't see the pose. So, it's all about seeing and understanding. And even if your hand is shaking, you can still attempt to, I think, get the drawing in. Even if it's loose,
Do you do plein air paintings?
Lots of plein air paintings, yes.
How do you capture all the lighting and detail in the environment?
I look at it. You just got to look and observe. That's what it comes down to. And you do it a lot, and after a while, it becomes second nature. These paintings here that are up on my board, can they see them? They probably can't see them. These are all plein air paintings. This one here, here's one that's loose. This is a watercolor plein air painting here.
Yep.
I do all of these. I've got a bunch of these that there we go. Is that showing up good?
Yep.
I do a lot of these. And it keeps your artistic chops
Artistic chaps.
strong.
There, bud. Who is he talking to?
Who is who talking to?
Who are you talking to?
Oh, you mean you?
Me.
Oh, that's my son, Dustin.
Hi. How's it going, eh?
He helps me out with all this stuff.
Yes, I relay questions and I make sure the stream runs smoothly.
Soft and smooth.
Soft and smooth. Have you or Dustin ever played D&D?
No.
I have not. Although I did play a board game called Warhammer 40K. That's probably the closest thing to D&D I've played. Which is funny because it's nothing compared to D&D at all.
Did you work with Hans Bacher on The Lion King? No, I worked with Hans Bacher on Mulan, though. Hans Bacher and I are good friends. He's an amazing artist. Living in the Philippines now.
What college did you go to?
I went to the Ringling College of Art and Design. At the time, they weren't an animation school. It was strictly illustration, fine arts, graphic design, and interior design. Those were the majors.
Yes, we're both missing quite a bit of hair. We both are. Yeah, because we figured that because of the whole quarantine thing that we're not going to be seeing the hair salons open for a while. So
I just got bored.
yeah, Dad got bored. He did the first cut, and I was kind of on the same vibe, and I saw that not only he but his brother, my uncle Travis, he did the exact same thing, and I was just like, you know, I'm going to join in on the train, and I buzzed my hair.
This creature would eat bananas, yes, and foliage and whatever else. YouTube question. That was YouTube. I'm intrigued to know what this creature eats and whether, if, and how it can eat bananas. Well, pluck them right off the tree.
Ever heard of Brigham Young University?
Yes.
Is that how you pronounce it, Brigham?
Yeah, Brigham Young. Yes, it's in Utah.
Is your son an animator? No, I'm not an animator. I'm a wildlife photographer these days. I used to illustrate, but not anymore. Or at least not as much. But I do wildlife photography, and you can actually look at my stuff on Instagram at Dustin_Blaise. And somebody's asking for a more detailed look on your Cintiq stand here, so I'm going to do a quick camera pan here.
Okay. You take it right off, and you can come in behind and see it if you want.
Yep. Get ready for some motion sickness, people. I'll try to make this as smooth as possible. And so this here is the stand. You understand?
Understand?
And he even built
Okay.
this hinge for his second screen for up top, and it's fully
Yeah, this rotates.
fully rotates. And it's fixed to a specific angle, right?
Yeah.
And you can see it has the little struts in the middle and the back there. And you built this front part first,
Right.
but then you wanted to add the monitor, so you built this
Actually, no,
separately.
that I built first.
Oh, you built this first?
Yeah, because that's been here for a while.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And you just managed to merge the two together.
Yep. I made sure that the measurements were the same.
Nice. Kill. Alright. Do you play video games?
No.
He doesn't. I don't.
No, never been into it.
Though when I was growing up, you did play a little bit.
I played
Like-
a little bit with you guys when you guys were kids with Mario Kart and stuff as a family. That was fun to do.
Yeah.
We did a little bit of Bond, I guess, and
Yeah, you
At
and the
Disney.
guys would play GoldenEye during barbecues out at the house.
yeah, but those guys were more into it than I was.
Where you just talked into it most of the time.
Yeah.
Like, oh, come on, it's going to be fun. And then you just kept on getting killed left and right.
No, I did some good kills, but I just got bored with it. There's our little guy. Finally found him. We found him.
We found him.
See, I didn't stick with this one because the silhouette was so bad. I like it okay, but it just wasn't a good silhouette. So this one here became a much better silhouette.
What's your favorite art book? What's your favorite art book in general?
The Illusion of Life.
Which one?
By Frank and Ollie.
Oh, the one Pinocchio.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like that one a lot. And then there's just art book in general. There's a lot of great ones out there. It's hard for me to say.
And
all right, let's get some color on this baby.
do you have any recommendations for books or online courses for learning Photoshop basics? I already have your course, but I'd love more information that you could recommend.
I've got some friends that are good photography that teach Photoshop in regards to photography. Beyond that, I'm not quite sure. So if you've already got my course, that's great. I'm not sure what else to tell you. There might be some good stuff at Schoolism. I know Bobby Chu's got quite a few classes over there. And he's great. So I'm just getting this all just kind of painted in.
Who is your favorite artist or colleague who does not have an online presence?
Oh, wow. JG, Rick Sluter. Although I think Rick's starting to work on getting an online presence. Ronnie's got an online presence, so I think he's doing all right. Trey Finney, you had to check out Trey Finney. I'm not sure how much of an online presence he has. He's really doing a lot in the gallery world. But Trey Finney's a good friend of mine and an amazing artist. Greg Beecham. Check out Greg Beecham. He's working on getting an online presence. Another friend of mine. Amazing artist. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just coloring in the silhouette, and then I'll lock it in and we'll vary up the color. I'm just laying in local color.
What is the imagined wingspan of this? Is it a bat-sized gorilla or gorilla-sized bat?
I like to think of it as a gorilla-sized bat. I think that would be more fun. Don't you think?
Oh yeah.
Which means he probably
a giant gorilla with bat wings.
Yeah, in which these wings probably wouldn't get him off the ground, but still fun to imagine.
You could at least glide with them.
In our world, we can give him the physics to do it.
I mean, he has strong enough muscles. I mean,
actually, in reality, he would have to have even bigger chest muscles than what I've given him.
Mm.
That's why birds have what's called a keel. In the same way that an animal like a bear or a dog has a ridge going down their skull so that they can increase their biting power. You know, if I show you... Here's a grizzly bear. And there's this big ridge going down the skull right here. You can see. You can see that ridge. That ridge is there for lots and lots of muscle to attach to so they can increase their biting power. And you'll see that a lot in different animals where they need increased muscle strength. And so birds have that same kind of thing, but they have it on their chest. And it's called the keel. And that's for all that pectoralis muscle to attach to to give them the power to flap their wings, because they really need a lot of power to do that. And so that's where all of that muscle attaches to. So they've got this big keel that comes out, and all that breast muscle attaches to that. If you've ever carved up a chicken or a turkey, you'll know the bone that I'm talking about.
What's your favorite theme park and ride?
I hate theme parks. I know you guys are gonna hate me for it. I sound like a grumpy old man. I hate theme parks. I like anything with roller coasters, though.
I remember my favorite ride for the longest time was at in Hollywood Disney, or as I know at MGM Studios.
Yeah.
And it was Star Tours.
Oh yeah, you love that one.
Like every time we went to that park, I would just beeline straight to Star Tours.
Any simulator ride I like. I love those. I think Universal has some great simulator rides.
I remember the one ride in
yes, a keel like a boat, but bigger, Nick.
I remember there was one ride in Disney Quest where you could, while in line, you could design your own roller coaster and then experience that roller coaster in the simulator.
Uh-huh.
And during that time, I hated like real life roller coasters. They just scared me too much.
Yeah.
And yet in the simulator, I was doing, like I set out to do like the most jumps, loops, flips.
Yeah. That's funny. Tim Hodge says, "Hey Aaron, I do a mashup like this in my upcoming lesson series too, but with vastly different animals." Oh, that sounds awesome. Tim Hodge, folks. That's Tim from our lessons where he's done how to draw cartoon animals, how to draw cartoon people. He's coming out with how to draw cartoon fantasy creatures.
Why are you looking at me? Why are you looking at me?
Because I'm thinking while I'm looking at
I'm your thought
Or
process.
how to draw cartoon mythical creatures. YouTube questions. Hey, Mr. Blaise, I bought a bunch of your courses lately. I was particularly excited to try your Drawing Fantasy Creatures Volume 1, The Forest. Is there a Volume 2 in the works? Not in the works right now, but there will be. Yes. So I'm just going to come in here and rough them up a little bit.
Oh, Detlef is on.
Hey, man. Detlef.
He said, "Hey, friends, what? What kind of crazy request did you get this time?"
Today is Animal Mashup Day. We're coming up with a new thing, so you got to give me 3 animals that I need to mash together to come up with a completely new animal.
And the winner was Gorilla Bat Rhino.
Gorilla Bat Rhino. I just like saying it.
I don't know why, but I keep singing it. Gorilla Bat Rhino. Gorilla Bat Rhino. Coming to a store near you.
So I'm going to start out with a little bit of violet in the wings. See, the skin is going to get very thin, and you'll start to see the blood, kind of the circulatory system in the wings there. So you start with a little violet. Oops. And then work towards a little more pink.
Does this Gorilla Bat Rhino have a name?
Yes. GBR.
GBR?
Gorilla Bat Rhino. So I'm just throwing some color in, being very loose with it. Not sure if this is the way I want to go yet. Whoa, easy, cowboy.
Hey Dustin, I was wondering how you can earn money as a photographer. As a photographer, it depends on what you're shooting towards. Like a lot of people to help pay the bills, they go into wedding photography, in which the the parents or the
Yeah,
they hire you to take the photos
Yes, they
of
get
the
that.
whole event.
Yeah.
There's also portrait photography for like a school of some sort. There's
But you
all
can
sorts
do.
of
I mean,
things.
there's periodicals. There's all kinds of stuff you can do.
Yeah.
You can sell your stuff to magazines. There's lots of different ways you can make money at photography.
Yeah, and for wildlife, there's as Dad said, as the submitting to like National Geographic or anything like that. But that's like way up there. But you can also do reference photo packs, which is what I'm going to be releasing pretty soon. Actually, is my first wave of photo reference packs on CreatureArtTeacher.com.
Creature art teacher.
On CreatureArtTeacher.com.
Hey, Aaron, I recently got accepted to Algonquin College's animation program. What would be some good things to work on artistically in order to better myself during COVID downtime? Well, I would definitely work on your animation, and if you're looking at doing 2D, lots of figure drawing, animal drawing, all of that kind of stuff. That's going to help you start thinking about things in 3 dimensions, and that'll help your animation. Yeah, we got a little light coming through there. I like that. Let's go a little darker on this. Well, I don't know. Let's see. Do we want to go darker on his? Well, let's definitely make him a silverback. We'll make him a silver. Whoops, man, this bug in Photoshop bugs the heck out of me. You see, it just goes totally opaque. It's super annoying that it does that.
I do apologize ahead of time if I butcher his name, but do you know or have you worked with Tonico Pantoja,
No.
a Filipino animator with a YouTube channel?
Oh no, I haven't.
Hopefully I said the name right.
So here I'm just darkening him up. Well, it's a couple of different values of fur. Notice I'm going really loose because I'm going to get the fur texture later on.
How long does it take to create a online course, and how do you not let perfection stop you from finishing it?
Well, it's never going to be perfect. They usually take me about a month to 2 months to make. And you just, I try to put in as much as I know into what it is that I'm creating. That's the intent. The intent is for me to, before I die, to leave everything, all my knowledge in these videos. Everything that I've been able to kind of figure out over the years. That's the whole intent behind all of this. And it just takes a little bit of time. All right, so we're starting to get. Doggone it! This bug is really annoying. Adobe, if you can hear me, I know you've heard about this bug. You got to get rid of it.
Do the thing.
Do the thing.
Do you have a favorite 7-minute Disney animated short or shorts from the 30s, 40s, and 50s? Like Old Mill or Clock Cleaners?
Yeah, I mean, I always liked the one where Mickey, what was it called? Where he kills a fly. He kills 7 flies with one blow, and he's talking to somebody, and they think he meant giants, and he has to go kill the giant. Can't remember. It's a takeoff of Jack and the Beanstalk, I think. Can't remember what that one's called. I always loved that one when I was a kid. I had it on a little Moviola thing, toy.
Now, one of my favorites. I don't think it's 7 minutes long. It's a bit longer, I'm sure, but it was Mickey Mouse and I'm pretty sure it was the Beanstalk take on it. It was like
Mickey and the Beanstalk.
Huh?
Mickey and the Beanstalk.
Mickey
Although
and the Beanstalk. That's it.
But was that the same one that he had where you said he killed 7 with one blow?
No, that was that's probably something different because this one, it was with like Goofy, Donald, and Mickey, and
remember that they're cutting. Remember they're cutting the bean.
Yeah, it was like super.
You could see
it's
through
like
it.
it's paper thin.
And it just goes.
Yeah, just.
All right, so I've got them laid out. There's our gorilla bat rhino. Let's add some shadows to it, shall we?
What's the current brush that you're using?
It's my usual drawing brush. It's a custom brush that I made a few years ago. You can get it if you sign up for my newsletter. If you get on my subscription list, you can get it for free.
Do you save your work while you're working?
Oh yeah, sometimes. Let me do it now.
Sometimes. I'll do it now. Because I completely forgot.
Gorilla bat rhino.
Gorilla bat rhino. Aaron, how do I get my drawings not to look tight?
Loosen up.
Go loosey goosey.
Go loosey goosey, baby. Yeah, you gotta. And that takes time. I know it's hard. It's hard to just get in there, and if you're not used to drawing loosely, it's hard to do it. And I draw every day, and so the techniques that I have evolved out of doing that, out of drawing every day. And so it's not something that you go, oh, I'm just gonna, I'll be able to do this now. No, you got to work at it. You gotta struggle with it. You got to do all of that.
How often have you worked on the wrong layer?
Almost every drawing, almost every image.
I'm sure everybody has had that happen. Like you have not fully experienced Photoshop or just digital drawing in general if you've drawn on the wrong layer at least once each time.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, the 701 Blow Mickey Mouse cartoon is called Brave Little Tailor.
Yes, Brave Little Tailor. Thank you. I don't know why I couldn't remember that. That's a given. I always loved the Brave Little Tailor.
Yeah, I love the Beanstalk. Fee, fi, fo, thumb.
You know who animated that? That was shoot, I can't remember. But Glenn used to bring it up all the time how much he loved that character.
I sure don't want a pink bunny.
So here I'm just getting some shadows in.
I was listening to the story of the guy that got hired at 18 on Disney. Do you think that'll be possible nowadays?
Maybe. Probably talking about Rune Beneke. Because I worked with Rune, and Rune is an amazing talent. Incredible artist.
I mean, if you got the skills for it.
Yeah. But there's also a maturity level that needs to come with the job, and sometimes an 18-year-old doesn't have that maturity level yet.
Right. Are there property rights to the drawing styles in animation movie?
No. To the styles?
Yeah.
Not really. Not that I know of.
Yeah, if there were property rights to drawing styles, there would be there would be suing all over the place.
Well, there's certain things that I think could be close to that, like Simpson style. That's super distinct. That's probably the most distinct.
How old is the youngest animator at Disney now?
I'm not at Disney, so I don't know.
Come on, everybody wants to know.
I was the youngest at the studio at one time. I started there. At one time, and then I wasn't.
What character on Klaus would you have wanted to animate had you had the chance?
Klaus.
Klaus.
Yeah, I loved animating big characters like that. YouTube question: Harry, any tips on how to draw open mouth from every angle with a huge jaw like you have now? Yes. Think about the anatomy. What's happening with that anatomy? How does that jaw attach to the skull and then open? How does that work? Well, I can show you really quickly. Let's turn these off really quick. If you have a character that's got a jaw, whoops. You got a character that's got a jaw, a big jaw, like you were just saying. So here's our character here. There's the upper part, and here's the lower part. Big jaw like that. There's the eyes. Ears. Okay, so there's a big jaw. It attaches back here, right? So if I want to open this character's mouth, the top part stays stationary. It's the bottom that opens up, and you got to open up that jaw. And now if we're going to add skin, that skin's going to be here, but then we want to continue down. And look at that. Now all of a sudden we've got an open mouth. And you can draw that from any angle as long as you're think about where that jaw is connecting. It's back here. That's where that hinge is. Okay? So if you look back and forth between these two drawings, you can see it animate. You can see it open. If we draw it from the side, you know, if you open his mouth, there's that hinge, right? Like that. Okay? If you do it from behind, 3/4. Here we are looking at him from behind. There's his cheekbone coming down. There's his nose. Like that. This would be his ear right here. Because there's the hinge right there. You can draw that from any angle. If you drew it from slight down angle, like this, there's that hinge back here. You can draw that from any angle. You just got to think about where it's connecting to. Okay? There you go.
Well, there you go. Back when you were doing cleanup, whose work were you cleaning up? Anyone who stood out?
Oh yeah, I was doing a cleanup for Mark Kausler before I was promoted to animator. Mark Kausler is a really great, broad, kind of Tex Avery, Warner Brothers style animator. Um, he was great. And he'd been around for a long time. One of the first animated projects he ever worked on was the Yellow Submarine by the Beatles. The Beatles. Remember that one, Dustin? Have you ever seen Yellow Submarine? Oh, if you've never seen it, Dustin, you got to see it.
I've only seen like clip it of it, but
It's really trippy.
oh, I'm sure.
But I learned a lot from Mark. He was an incredible, broad animator. Really taught me how to loosen up and he had so much appeal to his drawings. It was all Roger Rabbit stuff that we were doing at the time.
Oh. Can you say some common mistakes an artist does and that you recommend to avoid?
Common mistakes that artists do, not thinking in volume, just thinking in line, drawing, not understanding form before diving in, or anatomy. There's a lot of different common mistakes that happen. Think from the broad, go loose before you go tight. I think broad before I go to the minuscule. I think in shape. Think in shape first.
Which animation studio are you at now?
My own. I'm independent.
You animate a creature art teacher.
Yeah, creatureartteacher.com. It's .com.
It's .com. Homestar10.net. It's .com.
Hey Aaron, have you watched the animated movie Anastasia? It's my favorite movie. Did you like it? What's your favorite character? Yes, I did like it. And that was a Bluth film.
I love that movie.
Wasn't Batty in that one?
No, Batty's Fern Gully. Bartok.
Bartok is the bat, though. He is a bat,
he's
right?
the bat.
Oh,
yeah, sure. Blame the bat. What the heck? We're easy targets.
You nailed him. Because that was Robin Williams on that, too, right?
No, that was, God, what's his name? He does, like, the most of the voices in Simpsons.
Hank Azaria.
Yeah.
That's right.
You're on your own on this one, sir. This could only end in tears.
Yeah, it was Rasputin's bat, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I liked him.
Yeah, he's my favorite too. Hey, that one line was always my favorite. I don't know why though. Oh yeah, sure, blame the bat. What the heck?
Oh yeah.
Is Dustin there? Yes. Yes, I'm right here. Hello, how are you?
Let's give him some color in the background. Let's make it a kind of an evening flight. We're gonna have to get him to stand out a little bit. Give it a little bit of evening color on the bottom.
Do you have any tips on how to make a good portfolio?
Put all your best work in it. The best, and don't overpack it. Don't overdo it, and put all the best work you can in it. That's the best thing I can tell you. If you have professional grade work, then put that in there. It's not a hard thing to figure out, but you just got to make sure You got to be honest with yourself with what you're putting in there, and have people that you trust that can coach you along the way as far as what to put in.
Did it happen at Disney often that you would animate a scene and it would be accepted in one pass? Or were you constantly refining and changing?
On movies like The Lion King, I never ever got a scene through on the first pass. The director just didn't work that way. Quite often the director didn't know what he wanted until you gave him, until he could see what he didn't want, and then he'd give you clear notes, which was frustrating. But then there was other directors that I worked with that, as an animator, that I'd get it through on the first pass, and be done with it. Question. It's a great question. Did you ever work with the animator who did Gaston? Such a great character and design. Yes, I did. That's Andreas Deschamps. He's a great, great, great animator. Great artist.
When you create something, do you know what exactly it's going to be?
Not always. No, not always. I'm sometimes just, I'm exploring.
Well, I mean, this live stream is all about exploring with with the rhino gorilla mat.
Well, and if you tuned in from the beginning on this one, you'll see that I had to do a lot of searching.
Ever thought of making your own independent animated studio and hire a few animators to do independent 2D projects?
Nope. It's too much of a headache. If you watched our live stream on Friday, I had a guest in, my friend Dominic Carolla, who has his own animation studio, and I've gotten that question before about, why don't you open your own studio? And it's such a huge undertaking, and it's something that I just don't want to handle. And so Dominic talked about that a little bit. If you go to our YouTube channel, you can see the interview saved from last Friday.
Hello! I just want to say I'm 13 and I admire you so much. Brother Bear has been such an important movie in my childhood. Thank you very much. Keep up the great work.
Thank you. I appreciate that. What's her name?
This is... it's more of a phrase than a name. It says, "Why are they green?"
Thank you. Why are they green?
It was on Instagram. Why are they green? Good question.
In your Proco interview, you said Milt Kahl was one of your favorite 9 Old Men. What about his work did you like most? His technical prowess as an animator was second to none. The things he could animate, his draftsmanship was second to none. That's what I loved about him. He could draw so well and animate with such complex movement, but make it feel so effortless and therefore super entertaining. He wasn't the easiest guy to get along with, but he was definitely an amazing animator.
What would your reaction be if you saw a creature like that in the wild?
Like this?
Like that, yeah.
I don't know. I'd kind of go a little nuts.
I would probably take a photo of it and then run like hell.
Yeah, so today's just like a little cartoony Fun character. Twitch question, any advice on carpal tunnel syndrome? You know, I don't have a lot of advice on that just because it's, I don't have any problems with it, but I do know that, you know, I don't do a lot of this. And I think that helps. And so I think if you can draw from your shoulder a little bit more and keep your wrist kind of stiff, it helps.
This creature gives a major Wizard of Oz vibe.
Hey, there you go. That's a great idea. I like that.
What process of animation do you enjoy less?
The least?
Yeah.
Doing my in-betweens. I hate doing my in-betweens.
I wonder what this creature would sound like. But that's an elephant spider. Or spider fin.
Oh, Andreas, so I was talking about who did, he did Gaston. He's got a blog called Deja Vu. I like that.
Deja Vu.
And it's really great. So that's cool.
How many times do you draw a day?
7.
7?
7.
7.
I don't know. I draw as often as I feel like. Sometimes I don't draw at all. Sometimes I draw all day. I don't let it dictate me. I don't get hung up over it. I don't go, oh my gosh, I got to draw today. I haven't drawn today. I draw when I feel like, and then when I do, I put my heart into it.
What are in-betweens?
Oh, in-betweens are the drawings that you add to your key drawings to make the movement smooth. So you've got key drawings that really determine the movement that's going to be happening, and then you have your in-betweens that smooth out the action, and it's, to me, doing the in-betweens it just gets boring sometimes. You laughing at?
Oh, somebody's comment. I can imagine this creature has a tremendous methane jet propulsion system. You just hear it going by, just. You see green mist coming out from behind him.
All right.
Like a trail. How long do you think a beginner learning fundamentals should spend drawing in one day?
As long as it takes. How's that? I know you're going to hate that answer. As long as it takes.
Do you always work overtime?
No. Matter of fact, I try to never work overtime. I try to get everything done that I can get done when I'm doing it. Pedro on YouTube asks, thank you so much for the art courses sale. I just purchased all of them. I'm an architect trying to be a storyboard artist, and I need to be self-taught right now. Any tips? Follow those courses. They will not do you wrong. You know, one of the best things you can do as a self-taught artist is to really make sure. You know, one of the dangers is to not be well-rounded enough, not to be exposed to art that's going to cause you to think in different ways, and just sticking with what you feel is comfortable. That's one of the dangers of being self-taught. You know, as when you go to school, you're forced to do art that's not in your comfort zone, and you learn from that. And so, as a self-taught artist, really strive to get yourself into uncomfortable areas. And then, when you do that, also try to surround yourself with other artists, or find artists that you trust that can critique you, that can give you advice.
Do you think it's possible to have knowledge before actually putting it into practice, or do they come in at the same time?
You could have theoretical knowledge. I mean, we always talk about that. It's almost like writing a script. When you write a script, you don't know how it's definitely going to play out. It's all just kind of theory, you know, on a chalkboard. And it's not until you play it out, not until you storyboard it and watch it back, or animate it and watch it back, that you see if that theory works. And I think, you know, getting knowledge before you put it into practice is kind of the same way, that you understand it from an academic standpoint, but from a practical standpoint, you haven't really tested it yet, right? And so it's through that practical application of knowledge that you learn the most.
What software are you using, and which is your favorite software?
I'm using Photoshop for my digital painting, and you know, when it comes, but I've got, you know, there's different favorite softwares for different things. Actually, I'm going to do cancel. We're going to do another multiply, and we're going to get some dark areas now. Switch question: what is a film that you would rewatch for fun or in times of inspiration? There's a lot of different films. If you're talking about animation, I could never get sick of Iron Giant. If you're talking about live action, I love The Big Lebowski. I love Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Those are my favorite films of all time. I know it's kind of crazy that they'd be my favorite films of all time, but they really are. The writing on those films really blows me away. The dialogue blows me away.
Hey, we're a tight spot.
The acting, the casting, everything, especially in Oh Brother and Lebowski,
Oh, yeah.
the casting is so perfectly done.
Do you think this COVID stuff will affect animation employment for a bit?
I don't think it. I think it's going to affect it less than other industries. So I don't think it's going to be too bad.
And could you elaborate more on the Wacom contest on your upcoming live streams?
Just know that we're going to be doing a giveaway. We're not sure of the parameters yet. So we just want to let you know that we're going to be giving away 5 Wacom 1s. Those are the entry-level Wacom's pen displays. And we're going to give them 1 away on each of our platforms. So that's 1 on YouTube, 1 on Facebook, 1 on Twitch, 1 on Instagram, and so on and so forth.
How do you get critiques from professionals?
That's a tough one. You got to contact them, and you got to find someone that's willing to do it. I'm not able to do it because I get so many, and we're so busy with stuff that we're already doing. It's hard for us to keep up and satisfy that part of the business, unfortunately.
What's your opinion about Adobe Fresco?
I think it's pretty cool, actually. I haven't used it a whole lot. They've asked me to use it, and I just haven't gotten around to it. But I think it's pretty cool.
What is it?
It's an app for iPad Pro.
Oh.
iPad.
It's like similar to Photoshop, just in an iPad form.
I think it's a little different. So it's meant to compete with Procreate, bouncing off of his belly as he's flying. Wolf Queen on YouTube asks, "Hi Aaron, I've been struggling a lot with shading. Do you have a course that goes through that area?" Yes, I have a course, and it's on sale right now. My course on lighting, and how to add shadow and light to your characters, which is another way of saying shading. That is that's on sale right now, so I would recommend grabbing it before we take it off sale. 'Cause I think it's coming off pretty soon, if I remember right. Nick was telling me. There we go.
I sometimes overwork my illustrations.
Well, stop it.
When do you know when to stop?
It's a tough one. It's something you feel in your gut. I don't know what to tell you. To me, I look at it and I look at the balance and I look at, you'll see I'm constantly zooming in and out. And I'm just looking at balance and this bug in Photoshop is so annoying.
It's so annoying.
It is. And yeah, so you're just constantly, I'm looking at like the little adjustments I just did on the hand, I didn't see that earlier. And I make sure to do my process the same every time, so I'm not struggling to figure things out every time. I'm not reinventing the wheel every time. I think that rhino horn should be lighter.
Are you using a mouse? You're using a...
no, I'm working on my pen display. You want to go to the...
Yep. We're gonna
Are you using reference for this illustration? No, I'm doing this out of my head.
From the top of your noggin.
From the top of my noggin.
What is the best way to learn anatomy?
Well, there's a lot of different ways of learning anatomy, through books, through drawing live models. Cadavers. I learned animal anatomy. Oops. I learned animal anatomy through pulling apart and drawing dead animals I found on the side of the road. There's a lot of different ways to do it. I'm going to get a nice bright... Oops. So, it's whatever you're comfortable with, really.
Do you have a favorite female animator? I've been told many times that women don't really have any chance in this industry.
That's not true. That's actually far from the truth. Actually, it's probably split 50-50 with women and men right now in this industry. And I would argue that there's more women going into it now than men. Kathy Zielinski is one of my favorite female animators.
Listen, who's your favorite YouTuber? Don't say my dad. We all know he's awesome sauce. I'm talking about in general. I actually have two favorites. in which they're both in photography. One is my top favorite is Peter McKinnon. He's a YouTuber up in Canada, and he does a lot of landscape and portrait photography. And I just love watching his videos. He loves doing B-rolls, and his B-rolls are out of this world. But then when I'm looking more into like camera news, like anything that's going on, or like real like reviews on different cameras and lenses, I watch Jared Polin or Fro Photos. So Jared Polin and Peter McKinnon are my two favorite YouTubers right now.
There you go.
There you go.
Twitch question. YouTube question. Do you read French comics? That's very specific. No, I don't. I don't speak French. I wish I did.
Are soft and hard brushes enough instead of fancy brushes?
I don't know what you mean by fancy brushes.
Like expensive
Brushes that
like
do the job. You know, I don't skimp on your brushes. I don't think you need to spend thousands of dollars on your brushes, but you don't want to get cheap brushes either. It's important to have brushes that work well for you.
but not get brushes that have like a gold plating on them just because they look fancy.
Well, yeah, was that, but you just don't want. You want brushes that are gonna do the job that they need to do.
Yeah.
That load well, that lay the pigment down well, whatever medium that you're using. Yeah, we're almost done with this, I think. Gorilla Bat Rhino. I'm digging the Gorilla Bat Rhino.
How do you choose your Photoshop brushes for animation?
I don't use Photoshop brushes in animation. I use TV Paint brushes for animation. And I just use the ones that they have in stock. I like them. I like those brushes. There. There's our Gorilla Bat Rhino.
Gorilla Bat Rhino.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it possible...
No.
Okay. Is it possible to have good art fundamentals but not a very good technical or software knowledge and still get a job in a studio as a fresher?
No. Probably not. If you want to get a job at a studio and have knowledge, you got to be able to execute it as well. So you've got to produce. If I'm understanding the question right.
I mean, if you do have the art skill, but you're just slightly lacking in the software knowledge.
Oh, is that what the question was?
Yeah.
Yeah, I misunderstood. Sorry. Yes, you can. Yeah, there's a lot of studios that will teach it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I misunderstood.
Yeah. In fact, when I was in the 3D industry, like I first learned 3D depth and digital domain, but then when I got hired at Stereo D in California, they actually put me in a week-long class session with other new people that were coming on board, and they taught us their software because we had previous knowledge of the 3D world, but we did not know their techniques or their software, and so they were teaching us on how to use that. And so a lot of companies do follow that style of like, here, like, you have a good background, here's the software that we use, we'll give you a week or so to learn how to do it, and we'll see what you can do after that.
It's got an idea.
Yeah.
And that was good advice, Dustin.
Yeah.
What if we put the moon right here? Let's put it like right there, like he's flying past the moon. Just like that. And then we'll light them up according to the moon. What do you think? What do you think?
The moon?
Yeah, doing that. So we got a moon right there. He's flying by. Or maybe we put the moon... I want to be able to backlight his wing. I'm either thinking putting it there, or maybe putting it... Maybe we put it here? What do you think of that?
Yeah, it looks a bit... That looks better. I like seeing the whole moon. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because then we can just move it over just slightly. There we go. Hello, I've been a long-time lurker. Wanted to say thank you for all the amazing materials and training courses. I just got a licensed copy for TV Paint as well, thanks to that awesome member discount that you offer. Yeah, I'm glad you took us up on it. So one of the things we're going to do, we're going to jump up here. We're going to go to our airbrush. Okay. All right. We're going to put a little layer there, and I'm going to close that. And I'm going to knock this back. I'm just going to put a little glow around the moon. Just want to have a little bit of a glow.
Is TV Paint expensive, and is it recommended for beginners?
It's not hugely expensive, but it's not cheap, and
But it's a one-time buy, right?
Yeah, and it's a one-time buy. You don't have to buy a license for it. But is it recommended for beginners? It depends on if you want to follow through with it. If you want to keep working with it, then I would use it. Yes. For sure. If it's something that you're going to stick with, are you going to stick with it? That's the question. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get some reflected light off of that moon onto these, onto these other parts of our character here. This won't take long, but it's going to add, I think it's going to add a lot more interest by having that reflected moonlight on our character.
When taking your courses, is it okay to skip around? Like, for example, in the Big Cats course, could I go straight to leopards instead of starting with lions?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. Absolutely.
It's not like if you skip straight to the leopard, it's like a virtual version of you is going to pop out going, no, no, go back to the beginning. You just learn any way you want.
See, we got a little rim lighting on the horn there. See this, I like this because this adds some fun drama to the lighting.
Have you ever animated a song?
Yes. In Beauty and the Beast, I animated when Belle and Beast are out in the snow. And the song is There's Something There That Wasn't There Before. I animated that with the Beast and a few others. If you go to my my YouTube channel and type in search Hippo Funk, that's Hippo Funk, you'll find some funny stuff there. There we go. I like that lighting better. See? You come up with something a lot more fun. Now let's add some burn to it.
Parent question. I have an 18-year-old daughter who refuses to go to college. She wants to go on a mission trip to help people. I've always been such a driven illustrator and know how hard it is to make a living as an artist. Do you have any advice on parenting and supporting her dream?
Yeah, let her do it. Let her go see the world. Let her go help people. You know, if that's what she wants to do right now, in my opinion, what a great trait to have. What a great experience to have as an 18-year-old. And I would say, yeah, do it. She's only 18, and she's got a whole lifetime ahead of her. And if she doesn't do it now, she probably will never do it. And what a great trait to have for somebody that wants to help somebody, that wants to make the world a better place. I think that's wonderful. So I would let her do it. That's my opinion. If my kids wanted to do it, I'd kick them out the door. Say, go, enjoy it, follow your dream. But she's not my daughter. And I know the world can be a scary place. But I wouldn't let fear dictate you living your life.
So do they have to write the music before or after the scene is made?
Music is a funny thing. Dialogue, we have to do dialogue first. Music, as long as we have a beat track, can be done, in some instances, can be done after. But if a character is actually singing, then it has to be done before.
Yeah, because it would be a lot trickier to try to make a song that has to dub over a character.
Yes. All right, so now we've got all this. Let's double that. Let's merge group. And now watch this. This is going to be the fun part. I'm going to get to grab that, and I'm going to go to my airbrush. I'm going to go to color dodge. I'm going to drop this down to about 34%. That might be a little high. 17%. I just want to see what we're going to get right in here.
How difficult was it for you to transition between traditional art and digital art?
It wasn't bad at all because I was using a Cintiq. The Cintiq really helped.
You probably would have had a harder time if it was just a regular tablet.
Yeah. Now we could do it that way, with the moonlight kind of shining through and it's a little bit silvery. I'm going to knock this up a little bit. And then we do some on the heads down here. We get a nice silvery glow on the moon there.
How do we get a tour in an animation studio?
Well, you gotta, I don't know, every studio has a different policy. You gotta find out on your own on that one. I know Disney doesn't just give tours out to anybody, so I don't know what to tell you there. Some studios will let you in if you know somebody.
Does Disney have their own software option?
Not that I know of. I think they're trying to save money and kind of do stuff off the shelf nowadays. Mickey on YouTube asks, any wing textures and transparent plans? No, I'm trying to do the transparency for sure. Not really wing textures. Actually, there's one thing I could probably do. That might be no. I want to do that.
From earlier of singing, somebody says, technically you did animate Yao from Mulan on the I'll Make a Man Out of You. And
oh, yeah.
a girl with fighting force sequence, so there's that.
Yep, there is that. Except I didn't animate him in those. Byron Howard did. So I'm going to, there's that one, and I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to copy this again. Because there's another way we can make this look like the blood is actually lighting up in there. Like that. What do you think of that?
At Disney World in the 80s, they let people tour through the animation department. Is that still there?
No, that's the studio I worked at, and that opened in 1980. Whoa, that opened in 1989. And yes, people did tour through there. But it's not there anymore. So which one do you like better? Do you like the wings where I highlighted them with red, or do you like it better with the silver? Just look at the wings. Don't look at the other highlights because I haven't gotten to them yet. I think the silver is probably more accurate, right?
Probably.
I like that it makes kind of a violet kind of color. I like that one better. Gonna roll with it.
Yeah. Yeah, because the veins may look too warm.
Oh, also, just can't wait to be king. That's right. I did animate Nala and just can't wait to be king. Yep. Thanks, Nick.
How fast should I be drawing to be able to work in the animation industry?
Don't worry about your speed. Worry about your quality. No one cares about your speed unless you're not able to produce a certain amount of work. But you don't want to worry about that right now. You just want to make sure that your quality is there. That's the most important thing. There's our there he is. It's our gorilla bat rhino.
Gorilla bat rhino.
Flying along, happy. Should we give him blurred wings? Nah.
I like it like that.
A YouTube question. What do you think about The Lion King 2, Simba's Pride? You know, I've never seen it.
Never?
Never saw it.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, me either. Yeah, I never really watched the sequels of Disney animated movies.
Alright, so I'm just going to finish this up. I'm going to soften a few edges here.
I'm going to add moonlight on the top of the tail.
Oh, thank you. Yes. Good call.
How do I overcome the uncomfortable feeling when pushing to draw something new? I'm self-taught artist, but I always stick to what I already know drawing.
Well, if you're not making mistakes, you're not learning. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to make bad drawings. You know, I didn't know what I was going to draw coming in here drawing for you guys, but you just dive in. And you be patient and you work at it.
A master has failed more times than a beginner has tried.
Exactly. Let's rotate this, see what we look like. There he is. So, I like it. I like it. It's our gorilla bat rhino.
That's better.
Gorilla bat rhino.
Gorilla bat rhino.
And last thing to do is... There we go. We got a signature. There we go, folks. Let me blow this up for you and rotate it around so you can see. So, one of the things I love about doing request days like this, in this case it was the mashup, is you don't know what you're going to get, and it really forces you to design on the spot. And I'm also having to talk and think, and all through that, and it really it forces you to kind of just you got to get through to the appeal, to the proportions, all that kind of stuff. And you can see we went through different iterations, right? We tried different things, and didn't know what was going to work. Those are our heads. And you just keep trying until you find the thing that works. And in this case, I wanted to find a nice silhouette that showed off the shape. So we had a version earlier that I thought was working okay. Where is it? This one here. Yeah, that one. You turn that off. So here's one that was working okay, but it really was just a mashup in the silhouette, and it just wasn't working. So I knew that if we tried a different version, that we could get something different. Which is this one right here. So there we go. Oh, there's our... Oops, I turned that one off again. There we go. And let's save it. Gorilla Bat Rhino. There you go. So that's it, folks. There's our Gorilla Bat Rhino. We'll do this every once in a while. We'll do, the mashup of 3 animals. We got to do a mashup of 3. Trois. Tres. Yes.
Uno, dos, tres.
Yes. So that was fun. Yeah, when you start out, you go, man, this is looking bad. This is looking bad. I don't know. Everyone's going to see that I really can't draw.
Mayday.
And then you just got to trust yourself and just keep going. So anyway, and if you think this is fun character design, I've got a lot more stuff over on my website where I talk about character design and creature design and all kinds of stuff. So go on over to creatureartteacher.com. And on top of that, we've got a huge sale going on. There's lots of stuff that are marked down to $1. We've got courses that are free. My introduction to animation course is free. So check it all out, because we've got some good deals in there, and you can learn some good fundamentals. And so I hope you guys enjoyed today. We're going to be back again on Friday, and we'll be back on Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll be doing it again. I don't know what we're going to do. We might do something traditional. We might do some animation. I have no idea. We'll figure it out. We'll have a good time. Go out, put some beauty back in the world, okay? We're artists. It's our job to make the world see the world in different ways. And if you can do some good by doing that, then do it. And just go out and be nice to somebody, and put your shopping cart away and all that good stuff. All right. Have a great week. I'll see you on Friday. And until then, go put some beauty back in the world. All right, Dustin.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Glad you guys enjoyed this stream. And if you guys are interested in some wildlife photography, you can check out my Instagram at Dustin_Blaise. And I post new wildlife photos each day, 7 days a week, and I absolutely love doing that. And even have a reference photo pack on the way.
Yeah.
So keep you updated on that. And so yeah, we'll see you guys Friday. And until that time, Cowboy Bebop. See ya.